start by asking our panelists to just put forward some brief thoughts on how they see financial inclusion, the journey in the last couple of years, and in their association with the industry, with the grassroots level, what their assessment of the situation is right now. So, sir, let me start with you, Mr. Arvind Kumar Chaudhary, who is the CEO and the State Mission Director for Bihar Rural Livelihood Promotion Society. Sir, some thoughts.
Financial inclusion, in my opinion, is not limited to just opening of bank account of a household, of a person, but ensuring that all the financial products are actually available to that household, to that person. Financial products would mean not only the credit from the bank, but also the savings, various kinds of saving products, then remittances, pension, insurance. In the real sense, the financial inclusion can happen only when the poor or the people have the choice to exercise any of these options. And it's not that we have just opened an account for that person and it's there in our record that the person is financially included.
Okay. All right. Mr. D.V. Deshpande, CGM of NABARD. Sir, is it any different here in Bihar as compared to perhaps other states, or are the problems and challenges pretty much similar wherever we look at it here?
See, Bihar is between the states, it is among the poorest of the states. Poverty level is pretty high. As per Tendulkar committee, it is over 50% poverty in Bihar. Macro data shows that out of some 1.8, 1.9 crore households in Bihar, only 44% have access to banking services. So it is against approximately 59-60% at the national level. So it shows that the inclusion as measured by this very macro data is relatively low in Bihar, but it has a positive side. Like Professor C.K. Prahalad mentioned, bottom of the pyramid concept or the blue ocean strategy concept, that this is the market which is available to those who can tap this market, and it is a massive market at it. Like our Mr. Chaudhary mentioned, the requirement of the poorest of the poor, they grow phenomenally from consumption to production, and it is very obvious that a family which progresses slowly towards the path of progress, the need for financial services, whether it is saving or credit or remittances or insurance, grows up. And therefore, a household which joins as a member of self-help group, graduates to an individual account, and first as a saving account and then maybe credit account, or vice versa, either way it is possible. So it opens up a vast opportunity of business.
Mr. P.K. Jinnah, the regional head for Reserve Bank of India, sir, is that happening? Do you see a transition from, okay, this is an RBI mandate, we have to do this, into the, a viable business proposition where the greater good can come along with business objectives?
See, let me first react to statement that it's a mandate from RBI or something like that. Let me clarify, it's not a kind of mandate. It's a commitment on the part of RBI to ensure that a financial infrastructure is there. If you talk about financial inclusion, without having any kind of infrastructure, then it will never happen. You talk about bank account or anything, first you have to have a bank's presence. So first and foremost is to have that kind of infrastructure. And towards that end, what we have been doing is we have been asking banks how, in a phased manner, they should go forward. That's the first thing I would like to clarify. And to supplement with some facts, as far as Bihar is concerned, we had stipulated a target that any village in the state with a population of 2,000 and above, we had identified 9,213 villages in the state. It's a consultative process approved by the state level bankers committee. There are forums for that. And all banks collectively, they have achieved that at the end of 31st March 2012. Now the target that we have set is by 2016 and beyond that, all villages below 2,000, that is we have to cover another 27,000 plus.
27,000
plus. They have already been mapped in all the 30 districts of Bihar, And they have been identified lead district, lead bank wise, we have given them to the lead banks. And the process of, really finalizing who will be the BC in place or who will be the bank, what will be the brick and mortar structure, or that kind of thing is in place. Financial inclusion cannot happen one day. It will take its own time. And there's a process. You can't even fix a time frame by 2015, 31st March, everybody in India will have an income of so and so. You cannot have that kind of approach. It is a process, it has to go on. And all of us have to work together towards that end.
Dr. Vidya Mambre, Director and Principal Economist at CRISIL. In your studies and the data that you look at, what is the assessment of the situation? 4 or 5 years of trying to push through this financial inclusion model.
Yes, at CRISIL we have done some studies. We also have, as was mentioned, financial literacy, how important it is, critical it is to the agenda of financial inclusion, and we have a program going on in Assam in that respect. But we have touched upon macro, we have touched upon micro and some data. So if I can give an analogy here, which I think perhaps fits this situation well, is if we think about someone like me, it can be anyone who's say trying to learn swimming as an adult. Now first thing what I'm going to look for is accessibility. Given my hectic daily life, I want to have a facility which is either near my home or is near my office, because there is no way I'm going to go 4 or 5 kilometers away and try and learn. I might as well continue to do some other form of exercise which I'm currently doing. So similarly, I think most of the rural India has access to non-formal finance, non-formal credit, so that they will continue to do that unless there is a proximity, unless there is accessibility very near to them, and there is significant progress made on that front through banking correspondence models or through technology, through FINO, so on and so forth. Even after accessibility, I would say if I find a facility near somewhere nearby, I'm going to see how good the instructor is. I have to have trust in that instructor. I have to have confidence in that instructor that suppose if I'm going to sing, he is there to help me out. Maybe not save me completely, not a write off a kind of a situation of a loan, but at least guide me through that situation. So that I'm going to see. So similarly, people are going to see towards, if we follow a banking correspondent model or a technology, that whether it's reliable, whether I can trust the correspondent, whether it's better it's from the same village and also gives financial literacy programs provided through him. And third, the most important, which was also touched upon, is how good the float is. Whether the float is faulty or the float is fine. And float in the financial inclusion here is what product and services we refer to. So it's not only bank deposit and credit, but it will have to be insurance products, they will have to be pension products related to different age groups and different areas, what the need is. So unless we see what is the demand of the customer and we tailor needs towards that person's demand, its situation is not going to improve. The person might as well say that I will open a bank account. Maybe whenever I'm on a holiday, maybe we can just go and in the kids swimming pool and stay there for some time. That is just using a financial inclusion only for cash transfers, or maybe just for remittances, but not a full-fledged financial institutions that we would like. So I think these three aspects of accessibility and trust and confidence and range of financial products which meet the demands of the customers, which is what will be crucial.
Okay, so let's talk about financial products. And we've got 3 representatives from the insurance sector today on the panel. Mr. Mishra, sir, if you can give us some sense on what is the thinking right now within your company. Are you looking at this as a viable proposition? Because this is not just tier 2, this is tier 3, tier 4, really going down to the grassroots level.
I personally see it as a huge area of opportunity, and it all depends how the man on the soil wants to work on this. And I can only tell you that my experience in Bihar particularly, people are listening, but I'll again repeat, the first thing comes of the literacy part of it. As a journalist, you will appreciate that you are always on the road, but very few people take even a life insurance or an accident insurance. Know full well there can be an accident on the way, which is very cheap, but people don't take because the first thing is livelihood. So once the mass moves to that level, I'm pretty sure things will move.
Okay, fair enough. Mr. Chandrakant Mishra of Religare.
See, Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, I would say for insurance companies is one of the largest financial inclusion activity. Insurance companies 5 to 10 years back never thought that there is a business opportunity there, and now they find there's a big business opportunity and people have done it. That's one. That gives us the confidence that financial inclusion is a business opportunity for us. To see financial inclusion and the BC or BCA model, maybe the technology has to be designed, but you take 4 stakeholders. You have a regulator, you have banks and insurance companies, you have the agency like BCs, BCAs, and you have the final customer. This financial inclusion is one aspect which addresses everybody. One, the regulator wants that the money laundering, their concept, it has to, no mis-selling has to happen, no, all the rules, regulations has to be accepted. Insurance companies at a national level or banks, they expect that the agent who will go and sell to the final beneficiary will sell the right product at the right price. The agents also need some extra money to actually activate themselves, as rightly said, to move on to the next level, and very rightly said that the beneficiary also wants that he is dealing with the right agent. So here we see where everybody, if they work together, actually are able to deliver and have a business opportunity for themselves.
Mr. Birendra Mohanty of ICICI Lombard.
Okay. As an insurance industry, we have identified health shocks is one of the major cause of vulnerability for the poor. And if you go by the World Bank report, it says every year 2.2% of the people are pushed to poverty because of health shocks. If you see in terms of financial inclusion, to make a sustainable business opportunity or sustainable business model, what are the things required is, first, it has to be financeably feasible. Second, it has to be acceptable by the beneficiaries. Third, it has to be a robust platform of technology and processes to take care of that. And fourth, it has to be a business sense for all the stakeholders. And among all those parameters, RSBY is one policy which has, categorically taken care of all these things and has created opportunities for all in terms of financial inclusion. In terms of, let's come to, if I give you an overall picture of financial inclusion on a health platform, in 2004-05, the number of lives insured was roughly 4 crore health insurance were issued, individual lives. In 2009-10, it is 24 crores lives are insured. And if I ask you total health insurance, it is 30 crore lives are insured, out of which with government health insurance schemes only 24 crores are insured. Nowhere in the world has such phenomena has taken place wherein financial inclusion has been taking such a large space. Nowhere in the world, right? And coming to Bihar, Bihar was a very early entrant to RSBY and other health insurance platform. We are operational in this state for the last 3 years. And giving example of Bihar, Bihar accounts for roughly around 15 to 17% of total enrollment in RSBY. Okay. So we have a much more optimistic story in terms of Bihar, in terms of financial inclusion on an insurance platform. And I foresee this opportunity to go much bigger in the path ahead.
Okay. Rishi Gupta, CFO at Fino. Rishi, I know you've been in Bihar and again part of the same Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana. What are the primary trends that you see here? Are people receptive to things like financial inclusion?
For us, as Barinder said, we started in Bihar along with ICICI Lombard in 2008-2009, and we have been growing over the years. And Bihar, I would say, is one of the leaders in terms of the Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana. Over and above that, amongst the states, and we call it the Bimaru states, and Bihar comes in that, we have seen that there has been a phenomenal growth in the state per se. And because of which we see there is a lot of opportunities on the banking sector. And as we heard, only 44% of the people are financially included. That means the opportunity is even more. For us, we have seen literacy is one of the key factors. And we have seen there's a lot of debate which is happening on how do we make financially excluded included, how do we make non-active cards active. So as there are many stakeholders in the process, there is a regulator, there is a bank, then there is a practitioner, then there is a government on the field. The requirement is that all the stakeholders should come together. We should see the Reserve Bank playing a lead role in terms of education and literacy coming forward. The government supporting the program through multiple EBT programs so that it becomes affordable and bankable. Because if